This is Optimal Startup Daily, episode 116, 3 Things You Should Do to Give Killer Performance Reviews by Michael Mehlberg of michaelmehlberg.com. And I am Dan, your host and narrator. Welcome back to Optimal Startup Daily, where I read to you from some of the best blogs on entrepreneurship. And thank you to Gusto. Instead of reading a script about Gusto's payroll and benefits, we wanted to tell you what small business owners say. After all, they're the people who use Gusto every day. Here's what one business says. With Gusto, I think of payroll as a 30-second job. The website is so friendly and a joy to use. Friendly payroll? You don't hear that every day. Amy from Utah says, I love Gusto so much. They do our medical, dental, vision, and life insurance. It's so painless. It's like going to the spa. And we have great options and rates even though we're a super small team. Health insurance? Like going to the spa? Wow. And here's what Amneat says about Gusto's support team. Whenever something comes up, I reach out and literally 24 hours later they tell us what to do or assure us that they've already handled it for us. Smart technology and friendly humans? That's cool. Honestly, the list goes on, and right now our listeners get 3 months free when they go to gusto.com/OSD. Yep, 3 months of payroll, benefits, admin, and more totally free. Again, that's gusto.com/OSD. gusto.com/OSD. And for now, let's get right to our post as we optimize your life. 3 Things You Should Do to Give Killer Performance Reviews by Michael Mehlberg of moderndavinci.net. Oh, the dreaded performance review process. You either hate it or you hate it. Am I right? It's not that you think they're unnecessary. After all, even if you don't give performance reviews now, somewhere in the back of your mind you know you should. It's that they take time out of work, cause unnecessary stress, and don't seem to be very effective at changing employee behavior. And isn't changing behavior for the better the whole point? So should we just ditch them altogether? My answer to that is a resounding no. When done properly, performance reviews can be a welcome source of feedback for your employees. They can lead to deeper discussions about responsibilities, career goals, and organizational improvements. So instead of throwing them out, let's implement 3 simple tips to get them right. Though there are thousands of ways to run performance reviews and just as many articles to read on the topic, I've found these 3 tips gave me the most bang for my buck. After 5+ years managing employees, these were the 3 things that made the most difference. Tip number 1, take your performance review process out of that tuxedo and give it some shorts and sandals. Here's how most performance reviews go. Every year, gather 12 months of employee data, feedback from peers, and force everyone to do a self-assessment for a month. During that month, we don't talk about the process. We maybe indicate that performance is tied to compensation, and we schedule a 1-hour meeting labeled performance review. Stress levels shoot through the roof until the big meeting, at which point everyone leaves the review wondering why they bothered to take the time in the first place. Sound familiar? Well, instead of making your performance review process a once-a-year event, why not break it up into multiple smaller events throughout the year? It may seem like more work, but doing a performance review once a quarter or twice a year can make the entire process far less formal. On top of that, it will reduce stress on the employee and create less stress for the business owner, who doesn't have to compile a full year's worth of performance info, which can be a daunting task. Why wait to give an employee 365 days of feedback in one fell swoop? Isn't feedback far more effective when given more often? The answer is yes. Stop giving performance reviews once a year. Move to a quarterly or bi-yearly performance review process, and you'll find them to be far more productive and less stressful. Tip number 2, how much time should the review meeting be? Exactly the opposite of what you think. Most managers spend all their time focusing on low performers. They give them extensive feedback on what they're doing wrong and what they should do to correct it. On the flip side, they spend only minutes with their top performers, telling them there's nothing you need to work on, or you're doing great, keep up the good work. Why? Your low performers aren't pushing your company the way your high performers do. Your low performers are actually costing your high performers and yourself more work. So if your best and brightest are the ones giving you the best and the most results, why not spend the time with them? Give them more goals, more responsibilities, and more praise. Talk with them to understand what they love and don't love about the job. Figure out how they can contribute more to the organization and compensate them for it. Most high performers are eager to take on more responsibility in exchange for bigger opportunities or higher compensation. Low performers, on the other hand, are usually only interested in doing just enough to keep their job. So spend the time with your A players. For your B and C players, keep it short and to the point. Tell them exactly what you need them to do, when you need them to do it, and what they can expect if they meet or don't meet their objectives. Tip number 3. Let the politician in you shine. Okay, I'm not suggesting you turn performance reviews into some political event. What I am suggesting is what every politician out there claims to want more of: transparency. How do performance reviews and transparency overlap? Well, most of the time they don't. Most of the time the performance review process is hidden from the employees. The steps along the way are only discussed when an employee needs to do something like turn in a self-review or request peer reviews. But this just increases the stress of it all. When your employees don't know what's going on behind the scenes, they start to imagine. And when your staff's imaginations run wild, stress levels rise, rumors start, and inappropriate expectations are set that can never be met. Instead of letting that happen, be as transparent as possible with the process. Tell everyone how the process will work, what you expect along the way, and when every milestone for both you and your employee will occur. Tell them why each step of the process is necessary and who will see each piece of the review process. Over-communicate, over-indulge. Let them know anything and everything that's going on, including how the performance reviews will affect their salary, bonuses, or any other compensation. Then, leave your door open. When employees see this process isn't something to worry about and that they can talk to you anytime, they'll feel far less stressed and can carry on with their job. It's time for a change. Now, not later. Maybe you don't have a performance review process, but you know you should. Maybe your current review process is stressful, distracting, and feels useless. That no longer needs to be the case. Take whatever process you have in place and implement these 3 simple changes. Break the process up into multiple, smaller events over the course of the year. Focus on your best employees and take less time with the rest. And be transparent, really transparent. None of these changes is a wild departure from any performance review process that I know, but implementing them should drastically reduce stress for everyone involved, including yourself. Furthermore, you'll start getting exactly what you'd always hoped to get: results. You just listened to the post titled 3 Things You Should Do to Give Killer Performance Reviews by Michael Mehlberg of moderndavinci.net. And thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this episode. Get creative and learn some new skills this new year. Explore your creativity at Skillshare.com/OSD and get a free trial of premium membership. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers membership with meaning. There are so many topics to explore, including music production, web development, creative writing, and more. Fun fact, I love collecting fountain pens and I've always wondered how I can use them in other ways. And I stumbled upon this Skillshare class called A Comprehensive Guide to Hand Lettering, Creating Graphic and Script Styles. Hand lettering is a fascinating skill to learn, and it's especially great when adding a personal touch to a gift. I also can't believe how many resources I'm able to get access to with less than $10 a month through Skillshare's annual subscription. If you're an entrepreneur, this is perfect for you. There are so many different skills to apply directly to your business. So join me and explore your creativity at Skillshare.com/OSD and get a free trial of premium membership. That's 2 weeks free at Skillshare.com/OSD. And big thanks to Michael Mehlberg for letting us share his work. He is a family man, an entrepreneur, business professional, fitness nut, organization freak, productivity junkie, and the author of Home Early. That book is about destroying distraction, becoming powerfully productive, and finishing work before dinner. You can get the first chapter of his book for free with a bunch of worksheets to go along with it right on his site, michaelmehlberg.com. And Mehlberg, by the way, is spelled Mehlberg. So come check that out and show him some support, and I have his site linked in this episode's description. And that should do it for today. I thank you as always for being here and listening all the way through, and I'll be back with you tomorrow for the Monday show, where your optimal life awaits.